What do you know about Hawaii?
When I have a worry-filled mind, I like to wander outside. No telling what we might find. Birds calling, worms crawling, leaves falling down from above. Oh, I plant my feet on the ground. I keep my head in the clouds. I let my feelings out loud. I hear joy calling, fear crawling, tears falling down out of love.
Welcome, friends. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Mrs. A, if you don't already know, and we're going to start off with a feelings check-in. Sometimes we check in with our zones of regulation or these color zones behind me, and other times we take a moment to think about our feeling or emotion, and we practice noticing it and naming it. And I have a poster here to help us with that. This poster shows a bunch of different emotions or feelings that you may be experiencing. It doesn't have every single emotion, but it has a good number of them. And so what I'd like you to do is look really closely and carefully and see if you can spot one that matches how you're feeling right now. When we take the time to notice and name our feelings, not only do we better get to know ourselves and understand our own brains and bodies, but we also help people get to know us better as well. So take a minute and look carefully. See if you can spot the feeling or emotion that you are experiencing right now. I'll do the same. Did you find your feeling? Let's say it out loud. 3, 2, 1. Determined. Wow. Thank you for noticing and naming your feeling. I wanted to remind you that just like these color zones, there are no good or bad feelings. Sometimes we might be feeling stuck in a feeling, and that's when we can use our different tools and strategies to help clear our brains. But none of the feelings that we experience are good or bad. They just are. Kind of like how the weather comes and goes and changes from moment to moment. Sometimes our feelings are like that too. And when we take some time to notice them and welcome them and name them, it actually helps us feel better if we're feeling stuck or feeling overwhelmed in a moment. So, thanks for practicing naming that feeling today or right now. I want to encourage you to keep practicing that and keep doing that throughout the day and throughout your week. And one way you can do that is by downloading this poster by becoming a patron. For just a $1 donation to help support me, you get this poster as a thank you. And you can print it out and you can hang it up in a place that you see every day. So you can practice it when you wake up in the morning or after lunch or in the evening before you tuck in. Naming our feelings, as I mentioned, can help us feel a little more comfortable and settled, and it can help the people around us get to know us better too. So be sure to practice that if you don't already. Now, just before I mentioned that you might want to use a tool or strategy if you're feeling stuck in a feeling or feeling really overwhelmed by big feelings. And one of those strategies we can use is moving our body. We can get up and take a walk. We can go have a run or ride our bikes. And sometimes we can just do some simple exercises right where we are. And we always practice exercising or moving our bodies together. Whether or not you're feeling stuck in an emotion or feeling, it's also good to help build muscles and keep our hearts healthy. And we use the date to help us. So let's check in and see what the date is for me today. The date for me is 5/25/22. That means it's the 5th month, May, the 25th day in May, and it's the year 2022. And we are going to do some special moves, and Fig is here to show us one of them. Let's see. I feel like Fig is using their arm and their leg. I wonder if Fig could bend down a little further, if that would help. Do you have any guesses on what move Fig might be showing us? It's a little tricky, but we'll practice it in a bit. You can make your guesses and think about maybe what it is. To start us off, though, we're going to do 5 arm circles. And you can do these sitting or standing. All you need is to stretch your arms out wide and make circles. And you can make small circles or big circles, forward circles or backward circles, whatever feels best for you. Let's count up to 5 by ones. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fabulous. Now, Fig, what are you showing us? Opposite toe touches. I see. Okay, so you can start with your right hand if you'd like and touch your left toe, or if you start with your left hand, you'll touch your right toe. And you can do these sitting or standing. I like to stand up when I do toe touches. And we're going to count up to 25. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Whew. And last but not least, we have 22 moves to do. And I thought we could do 22 jumping jacks. Now, jumping jacks require a good bit of space because you're jumping and swinging your arms. So if you're able to spread out or get in a safe space, go ahead and do that now. 22 is an even number, so we're going to be counting by twos as we jump. Let's stand up and get ready and count by twos if you're able. If you're not sure how to count by twos yet, that's okay. You can follow along and start practicing with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Fabulous work. Now, after we exercise or build our muscles, it's always important that we take some cool down breaths. Listen for a bell, and when you hear it, breathe in big, and then slowly let that air out. One more breath. Awesome job. I hope your head is feeling clear and your body is feeling warmed up. Now, at the beginning of my episode, I asked what you know about Hawaii. And I am really excited to share some books with you about Hawaii today and a message to help us understand a little bit more. Now, in my messages, you may remember that I had alliterations and onomatopoeias sometimes. And alliterations are words that are next to each other or nearby that start with the same letter or sound. And onomatopoeias are sound words. So see if you can spot any. Aloha, amazing learners. Hawaii is one of the 50 states of the United States of America. But did you know that the people of Hawaii didn't want to become a state? They wanted to be a free nation and continue to govern themselves like they'd done for many years. Unfortunately, they were colonized anyway, and the U.S. took over their land. That makes me sad. I've only recently started learning about Hawaii, and I'm disappointed that I didn't learn anything about its people or its history when I was young. Today, I'm eager to share a small sampling of Hawaiian culture and history through these thoughtfully crafted books. Let's learn more together. Love, Mrs. A. Did you hear anything in this message that made you curious or surprised you or was interesting? Me too, yeah. Learning that Hawaii didn't want to join the United States I thought was interesting. And unfortunately, they were colonized anyway. That means that people from the United States decided, nope, you're going to become a state. And so that made me feel really sad. Maybe you heard that. But one thing I learned as I was reading about Hawaii and learning on my own is that there are so many beautiful pieces of Hawaiian culture and history. And so I found some books that'll help us understand a little bit more. This first one is filled with information about history and culture and things that are important to Native Hawaiians. It is called A is for Aloha, and it is a Hawaiian alphabet, written by Uilani Goldsberry and illustrated by Tammy Yee. And I love this book for so many reasons, but one of them is because it has a ton of information, as I mentioned, and incredibly beautiful and detailed pictures or illustrations. So we're going to look at a few letters today, and we'll just read the little rhyme or poem they have. But as you can see, there's a lot of information that helps us better understand what the poem or rhyme is talking about. So be sure to grab this book for your own library. A is for aloha. Aloha is our letter A. It means so many things. Hello, goodbye, and love to you. Fair wishes this word brings. Did you hear the word aloha in our message? It has a lot of different meanings, and if you grab this book, you can read a bit more about its history and its origin as such an important and helpful word. F is for state flower. Our F is the yellow hibiscus, so delicate and fair. Its hues are like the sunshine, a state flower beyond compare. Do you see that yellow hibiscus? Earlier in the week, we talked about nature and how it can help us feel well. And so I thought learning about the state flower of Hawaii, the yellow hibiscus, was a cool connection. I also see a fabulous little fish here. I wonder if that's the state fish of Hawaii. If you read all about it, you can find out more. P is for the Polynesians. Polynesian explorers braved the open sea. Traveling through wind and blinding sun, they discovered Hawaii. So Polynesian people from Polynesia traveled across the ocean and discovered Hawaii. And again, if you read all this information on the side, you'll learn that it was over 1,000 years ago that happened. Pretty incredible. This book not only has information for each letter of the alphabet, but it also has a fantastic pronunciation key when you are looking at words that may be new or unfamiliar. And it has a quiz that you can see if you've learned some things or want to test yourself at the end of reading. So I definitely recommend you grab A is for Aloha. You can get it from your local library or visit my bookshop link in the description of this video. And while you're down there, be sure to hit that red subscribe button. Now, this next book is called Ohana Means Family, and it is a beautiful example of how connected and how family-focused the culture in Hawaii is. It is by Alima Loomis, illustrated by Kennard Pak. And I love this book so much because it reminds me of a book that I read a lot growing up in the way that it's written. Listen carefully and see if you hear any patterns. These are the hands, so wise and old, that reach through the water, clear and cold, into the mud to pick the kalo, to make the poi for Ohana's luau. This is the land that's never been sold, where work the hands so wise and old, that reach through the water, clear and cold, into the mud to pick the kalo, to make the poi for Ohana's luau. Do you see how many people are involved in helping? One of my favorite things that I've learned about Hawaiian culture is that it is all about community and family and working together and helping each other. I think that's really beautiful. This is the stream of sunlit gold, flooding the land that's never been sold, where work the hands so wise and old that reach through the water clear and cold, into the mud to pick the kalo, to make the poi for Ohana's luau. Wow, do you see all those people working together? And did you hear that pattern grow? Yeah, as you read this beautiful story, there's another piece added and it keeps going and growing. And then you hear all about how they make that special dish, poi, for the Ohana's luau, the family's gathering or party. So be sure to grab Ohana Means Family and read that and enjoy that fun, playful pattern. Now you may be wondering, Mrs. A, why are you reading such short parts of these books? And that is because our third book today is a book that we're going to get to read together. And so I wanted to make sure we had plenty of time to do it. It is called Kalei's May Day in Hawai'i Nei, and it's written by Keilani Akoi Clark and illustrated by Nadia Tagaloa. And I'm so excited that the author, Keilani, has given us permission to read this book and look at it together. And we're going to learn a little bit more about the connectedness and how important family and community is. And we're going to learn about a special celebration called May Day. So let's read Kalei's May Day in Hawai'i Nei. Aloha, this is Kalei. Today is May Day. May Day is Lei Day in Hawai'i Nei. All of Hawaii celebrates with family, flower leis, and fun parades. Do you see any of those flower leis? They're like necklaces made of flowers. Oh, I see them too. We celebrate May Day at every school. We can't lie, it's pretty cool. Oh no, Kalei doesn't know how to dance. The stage is so big, she feels like a tiny ant. Can you help Kalei learn to dance? No worries, Kalei. You and I will get ready for May Day. It'll just take a quick trip across the sea, says a squeaky voice from behind the coconut tree. My name is Mana, the monk seal. Follow me and I'll make you a deal. Give my family a chance. My favorite aunties can teach you how to Polynesian dance. The magic canoe unfurls its beautiful bright sail. Zoom, zoom, whoosh! The island of Samoa shines at the end of this trail. So we learned about how Polynesians, people from Polynesia, came and discovered Hawaii. And so they're going to learn a Polynesian dance. And their first stop is Samoa. Auntie Teuila says the key to Samoan dance is a fa'aumu, a fun and happy yell. Don't be shy, let out a chee-hoo! Auntie Teuila yells. Kalei belts out her best chee-hoo! Can you do a fa'aumu with Auntie Teuila too? Chee-hoo! Can you try? Zoom, zoom, whoosh! The canoe is so loud. Look, Kalei and Mana reach the land of the long white cloud. I wonder where they are going next. In New Zealand, Auntie Aroha teaches Kalei the key to Maori dance is shaking her hands fast. When Kalei starts to wiri, she has a blast. Kalei shakes her hands and opens her eyes wide. Can you open your eyes and shake your hands from side to side? Just like they're doing in that Maori dance. Off to the island of Tonga we go. Zoom, zoom, whoosh. Can you hear the drum beat below? Mana and Kalei climb over a small rock wall. Auntie Melee is here. She is so funny and tall. Do you have a special dance that you know or like to do with your family? I love that we're learning about so many different dances related and connected to Hawaii. Auntie Melee uses sticks to teach the soke. She tilts her head back and forth in this way. Auntie Melee shouts, "Show how you are feeling inside." Can you take with Auntie Melee and Kalei with pride? Zoom, zoom, whoosh! The canoe bounces up and down on this bumpy trip. Mana and Kalei cross the bridge, hold hands, and skip. Now we see Auntie Tiare's fast shaking hips. Kalei, relax and smile. Make slow circles with your hips for a while. Kalei asks Auntie Tiare for help. The other girls cheer, chant, and yelp. We love to dance with new friends. And Kalei never wants dance practice to end. Can you try a fast fa'arapu with Kalei? Mana, I'm hungry. Can you hear my stomach rumble? Kalei cries as she starts to stumble. Mana says, think of your number one favorite snack. Close your eyes, then put your hand into this backpack. This is quite the magical seal, Mana. Kalei thinks it's silly. Mana couldn't possibly really have the snack she's thinking of. She closes her eyes, reaches in, and dreams of all the food she loves. When she opens her eyes, what a big surprise! Warm spam musubis, poke over rice, and the biggest bowl of rainbow-shaved ice. Zoom, zoom, whoosh! We climb a tree and swing from branches. Look, there's Auntie Ade doing Fijian dances. They hold their fans with confidence and grace. The ladies are doing a sea with strong and beautiful faces. Can you wave your fan for Auntie Ade and Kalei? Kalei can't seem to get it right. Will she be able to learn by tonight? Zoom, zoom, whoosh! Back to Hawaii, and Kumu Alohi is there. What a smooth kaholo she has, and such thick, flowing hair. When Kalei watches Kumu, she looks a little sad. Kumu and Mana hug her tight so she doesn't feel so bad. Have you ever tried to practice for something, like a recital or a dance performance, and worried that you wouldn't be able to get it just right? Maybe a hug or some words of encouragement have helped you too. My teachers are the best. They are strong, graceful, and confident. I don't think I can dance like the rest. Oh dear Kalei, what did you say? Good dancing has nothing to do with May Day. Celebrating Hawaii and the islands is why we learn all these traditions and then try. Kalei feels better as she breathes in and out. She hadn't understood what May Day was really about. Family and friends from the town get together. They watch and cheer from their seats in the sunshiny weather. The big day starts with Kalei in the royal court of Hawai'i Nei. Kalei is happy to dance even if she's not the best. She remembers to have fun and tries hard not to stress. Her aunties, Mana, and parents look around. Kalei sees each of their faces as she bows to the crowd. A wonderful memory, she is happy to say. Now she knows the true meaning of Hawaii's May Day. Friends, I just love this story that teaches about different dances and traditions, and also encourages me when I'm feeling stuck or unprepared or unsure if I could do something. I can think of Kalei. And here is a glossary with helpful pronunciations and definitions. You may have heard some words in this story that were new or unfamiliar, and if you get your own copy, which I'll link in the description, you'll be able to learn a bit more about what each of them mean and how to say them. They may take some practice if you haven't spoken them before. Kalei's May Day in Hawai'i Nei is such a fantastic book. Like I said, it gives us a little taste of some Hawaiian culture and dances and traditions, and also really encourages and inspires me. I hope it does the same for you. Now, my friends, to send us off for the day, I thought we could do a mindful moment that connects to Kalei and her adventures with that seal, Mana. And I thought we can do an ocean breath, where we'll pretend we're on the ocean, riding in a canoe and visiting different places. And just like the ocean has waves that ebb and flow, go up and down, our breath goes up and down, or in and out. And so I'd like us to imagine a big wave as we breathe in, and then it'll pass as we breathe out. And you can use your hands to make waves. You can move your body as if you're on a boat, whatever feels best for you. We're going to do 3 big breaths, just like the ocean and its waves. Ready? Again. Once more. Friends, how did that ocean breath make you feel? What did you notice about your brain or your body? Did you imagine you were in a canoe with Mana the seal? Anytime you are feeling overwhelmed or confused or your brain is just a bit foggy, if you take some deep breaths, imagine that ocean wave, or try a different mindfulness activity that we've practiced, it can help you feel more comfortable and feel more settled. It's a great little trick for helping our brains and bodies. Thank you so much for trying that with me today. I want to send you off with some love if you'd like it, a hug if you want it, and I can't wait to see you next time.